Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all my Cardfight Vanguard Drajeweled deck profile for post-Knights of Rebirth. With the latest Cardfight Vanguard Divines booster set, we got more support for the Drajeweled set, and with the Master deck set, the deck is more readily available to build now as well, just needing one deck to have the full staple outline for the Drajeweled series. So figured I'd give you all an update to the deck and what it's comprised of, with the new support from the 8th booster set to focus on this deck that resorts down your opponent's Vanguard to 1 power, making it a very offensive deck to then swing against with your go-to Vanguard and the grade 4 options that it provides. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the ride deck. For the standard ride deck, we have the Energy Generator, with our starter being the Julius Draco Kid. When wrote upon, if you want second, draw a card. Our grade 1 is Jewel Core Dragon. When wrote upon by Demonic Stone Dragon, Jewel Neil, call this card to rearguard. And when this unit attacks or boosts, this unit gets +5 till the end of that battle. At the end of that battle, put into the soul. So it provides you a boost with your Vanguard attack, and then being able to place it back into the soul, which then you'll need for the Soul Blast power of your Drajeweled Vanguard. Our grade 2 is Demonic Stone Dragon, Jewel Neil. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, Soul Charge 1. And when it's unit wrote upon by Drajewel and its card name, Soul Charge 1. And if your soul has 3 or more cards with different grades, draw a card. So just more setup with that draw power on top of everything else, having the different grades for you to then use for our Demonic Jewel Dragon Drajeweled. Counterblast 1, Soul Charge 2, and if all the cards Soul Charge have different grades, you may draw a card. And on Vanguard, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, Soul Blast 4 cards with different grades. Choose one of your opponent's Vanguards until end of turn. Increase or decrease its power to 1. And if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets critical +1. So putting your opponent's Vanguard down to 1 means that if they get a trigger, they'll have 10,001 power, which means a good majority of cards can still swing against it. You have the grade 3 setup to then go into our grade 4 Vanguard, which is our Demonic Jewel True Dragon, Drajeweled Ignis. With this card can only be written from a unit with Drajeweled and its card name. At the beginning of your battle phase, choose 2 cards from your drop, put them into the soul. Then if your soul has 4 more cards with different grades, all your front row gets +15 till end of turn. And while you are paying the cost for this ability, you may Soul Blast cards with Drajeweled and their card name from your soul as any grade from 0 to 4. When this unit attacks, Soul Blast 5 cards with different grades. Retire all of your opponent's back row rear guards, and until end of turn, this unit gets critical +1, and increase or decrease all of your opponent's front row to 0. So instead of the 1 power that the grade 3 gave us, the grade 4 reduces it to 0, making it all the better, because then a 10k can still hit into your opponent's 10k Vanguard instead of the 10k and 1. And the critical plus, and being able to count any of your Drajeweled cards in the soul as the needed grade for the Soul Blast makes it a little more consistent to provide those cards to use for your Vanguard attack also. For the grade 3s, we're running 4 copies of Causality Dragon, Crucial Dragon, on the rear guard of the guard circle. If your opponent's drive check or damage check revealed a trigger unit this turn, it gets +10 power and shield +10. And on rear guard once per turn, when this unit attacks a Vanguard while not boosted, put another rear guard in the same column as this into the soul. Perform all the following. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards, retire it, and this unit gets +5, or you can remove an over trigger from the drop, and your opponent cannot call cards grade 1 or greater from the hand to guard circle to the end of the battle. It's just more of a defensive and offensive rear guard or guard circle option against your opponent to provide if your opponent gets a trigger, then basing the additional power of this unit on that play of your opponent's. Lastly, for the grade 3s, 2 copies of Demonic Jewel Dragon, Rystole Galler. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you Soul Blast 4 more cards at the same time for the cost of your Vanguard's ability this turn, put a card from your hand to the soul, draw a card, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, and retire it. Usable only if you Soul Blast 4 or more at once, which is what you'll be doing with the Vanguard's ability. So then you'll be able to make use of the draw power and reset up cards in your soul, thanks to Rystole Galler also. For the new grade 2, 4 copies of Demonic Stone Dragon, Lithor Sargor. When this unit's placed on rearguard, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Drajeweled and its card name, Energy Blast 3, and draw a card. And on rearguard once per turn, when this unit attacks a grade 3 or greater unit, if your soul has 4 or more cards with different grades, it gets +10 until end of turn. And when you Soul Blast 4 or more cards at the same time for the cost of your ability of your Vanguard with Drajeweled and its card name, Counterblast 1, and stand this unit. So it's a very Rockagore similar Vanguard ability, with this card being able to have the restand power just for the Counterblast 1 option. And on top of it, you have the Energy Blast draw power of this card as well, making it a little stronger than Rockagore to use in the deck, since you always have that draw consistency to go into more resources with this card. And also 4 copies of Soul Severing Demonic Spear Knight Zagan. When this unit's placed on rearguard during your main phase, you may soul charge 1. Choose up to 1 grade 4 card from your hand, reveal it. If you revealed a card or have a grade 4 Vanguard with Drajeweled in its card name, choose up to 1 card from your soul with a different card name from this unit in grade less than or equal to your Vanguard. Call it to rearguard. At the end of the turn, put that card called into the soul. So if you have a bountiful amount of cards in the soul, you can use your Zagan to at least give you more of a setup on the rearguards. And if your Vanguard is Drajeweled in its card name, it gets boost. So then if you have multiples of certain grades, Zagan being able to be a booster instead of an attacker makes it a good setup card for the additional soul charge it provides, but also being able to provide that boost for other rearguards you may have on the field. And then for this next grade 2 spot, this is a mix and match spot where you can choose what you want in this spot based on what you have. It can be Tizkar, Falcracia, or Imposa, depending on what you want. Imposa came out in the Master deck set. Falcracia was a promo card released for more of the different soul setup, and then Tizkar is a discard option for it. So whichever one you want to run in this spot, if you have the Master deck set, Imposa can be used here. If you have the Tizkars or the Falcracias, you can mix and match in this zone also. And then for the rest of the grade 2s, 2 copies of Demonic Stone Dragon Rockagore. On rearguard, when this unit attacks a Vanguard once per turn, if your soul has 4 more cards, it gets +10. And on rearguard, when you soul blast 4 more cards at the same time, being able to, with your Vanguard's ability, counter +1 and stand this unit. So it's very similar to the Lithar Sargor. Being able to restand it just doesn't have the Energize ability. That's why we're just using the 2 of copy in the deck for the rest of the grade 2 lineup. And then the grade 1s, 4 copies of Wise Demonic Lordling Varpula. When you soul blast 4 more cards at the same time for the cost of your Vanguard's ability, put this card in the soul, draw a card, then choose up to 1 grade 4 card from your hand, reveal it. If you revealed a card or have a grade 4 Vanguard with Drajeweled in its card name, choose one of your rearguards, and if your rearguard did not stand by a card's ability this turn, stand it. So then your Varpula at least gives options for your other rearguards to be able to restand on top of the Lithar Sargors or the Rocker Gores, which can also stand on their own abilities. But if you have a rearguard, let's say, doesn't do that, you can rely on Varpula to do it instead. And then also the 1 copy of Amethyst for more of the recycle power, 4 cards from our drop that were originally from the Ride deck to give us a counter charge option on the rearguard ability or the +15k when we place this card on the guard circle. And then lastly, the Sentinel lineup, running the Elementaria Sanctitude to go up against the Crest deck since we have a triple drive Vanguard ourselves, and the 3 copies of Repelled Malice Dragon since they were just the ones that were available in the Master deck set. With the last before the trigger spot being our Regalis piece, which is for Badal Surrogate, being able to search out grade 3 and grade 4 units with different names, call all the revealed grade 3 cards to rearguard, and put all the revealed grade 4 cards in the hand. So then we can use this, Regalis piece to search out our needed grade 4, and then provide our grade 3 spot on the rearguard circle. With our trigger lineup, since we can reduce our opponent's Vanguards to some pretty low power, you want to max out the critical option for pressure against your opponent. So 8 critical in total. Having Stem Deviate just gives you an additional option to put a grade 0 into the soul if need be. 3 copies of the draw trigger as well, just for more hand consistency and the additional 5k guard. And then our heal being Caper Companion, just with the generic heal lineup. And our over trigger being the Gamalgahound. I considered Eidos Faro as well for this spot. If you want to run instead of Gamalgahound, it just provides a good early game setup for your trigger pressure. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Once again, happy to have updated both of the Master deck sets with the new support from the Knights of Rebirth booster set. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira Qualia out.